All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol Nndm, Nano Dimensions. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So here we are with Nano Dimensions. I talked about resistance, the 50-day moving average, and support in the previous video. I'm going to touch bases on it in just a moment. And we talked about how Ark Invest bought more shares as the stock was going down. I really wanted to check that out because that was going to speak in high volumes of what Ark Invest feels, their sentiment completely on the chart overall and on this stock. So we're going to retouch base on it because there's been two theories that have been thrown at me in the last couple of videos. In the last video, the previous video I just did, a new theory has been, thrown out there in the comments, and I really appreciate those of you that take a moment to share your thoughts and perspective or even your own research, due to the fact that it's not just my voice and the videos and the charts. You guys have a voice as well. I encourage commenting down below always your thoughts, how you feel, what are you guys looking at here, what is it looking like to you guys, because we're all investors here and every single investor looks at a chart differently. But we always want to focus on the difference between a perspective that's an opinion and a perspective that could be a fact or reasonable perspective, right? We always want to kind of balance those out, but everyone has a voice here. That's what I really want to vocalize here to all of you, okay? I want every single investor to know that once you're a subscriber or just a viewer, you're not even subscribed to Invest for Tomorrow, and you're watching the videos and you're tuning in, you have a voice. You are part of the Invest for Tomorrow community, and I want every single investor to be aware of that. And that's what we're here for. We're all going to learn and grow together, maximize profits, minimize losses, and pay close attention to what's going on in the market as much as we can to the best of our knowledge here as a community. But we always focus in on everything that we can, especially these cues. That's what I really like doing and focusing my videos on. And then here and then, I will go ahead and throw out there some other news or information about stocks, right? Like what we're doing right now in this video. So the two theories are very reasonable. One of them, I couldn't do any more research on it, so I want to apologize to that investor. You're probably going to watch this video at some moment because you are a regular viewer and you had stated that there's an institutional investor or an investor that has a large lump sum, and if I could find any of those orders or if I could find more information on it, your theory is that the reason why the stock is slowly falling in these last couple of days is because that individual investor or institution is shaving off on their position. And it would be interesting to see why they're doing that. You're thinking that they're profit taking, right? So I think that's reasonable. I mean, we haven't found any factual information on that, but that's a good theory, right? The second theory is an investor and viewer as well. You're probably going to come across this video that comments frequently and you share your thoughts when you think necessary, and I really appreciate it. And that's what it's all about. And I really like the fact that you stepped up and shared your theory. So this specific investor and viewer told me, hey, because I stated it in my previous video, so you're telling me that when the stock was going up, Ark Invest bought 200,000 shares. And as the stock was going down, Ark Invest bought 20,000 shares. I have a theory. Can you look at the previous purchases and dates? So there were several times here in December that while the stock was going down, especially this time right here, they took smaller positions than when it was going up. And then also when it was going down in this direction, and they took more positions when it was going up here, smaller. And then as it was going up, they bought more. And as it was going up here, they bought more, and more. So like just between this point here to this top, right, from $6 to $10, they bought almost a total amount of like 500,000 shares. Almost. I don't think it exactly reaches it. It's probably in the 400s. And if it does, it gets really close to 500. And if it misses it, it's between 400 to 500,000 shares just in this time frame. They bought that many shares, and it was going up. As it was going down, which I was looking forward to see if they were going to be hesitant or how did they approach it? They bought 20,000 shares, which was from the 23rd to the 24th. Now, this investor, subscriber, and viewer went ahead and shared their thought. And their thought was, right, when I asked them, so what's the theory? I went ahead and looked. I told them how many times, Nano Dimensions was added to Ark Invest portfolio and so forth. And he stated, okay, so you're telling me that they're buying more when it goes up, and when it goes down, they're buying less. I believe that Nano Dimensions, in the eyes of Ark Invest, is seeing Nano Dimensions as a good buy no matter what. And they're basically making a bold statement that when it goes down, it's really not that big of a deal. And when it goes up, we're just going to load up on stocks to show you how confident we are in the company, right? So that's a really good theory. That's a pretty bold statement from Ark Invest. And that's, in a way, what I've been saying about Ark Invest all the way leading up to $9. We've been watching it when it was 6, it went up to 7, fell back down to 6. And we've been talking about that, how Ark Invest has been making bold statements on their purchases and the way they're behaving, adding Nano Dimensions to their portfolio. And something that really stood out to me, because I did some more research, is how Nano Dimensions, and this isn't updated, this is Fidelity, is here, and you can see Ark Invest's position on September 30th. In just literally, if you count it, because that's literally September 30th till now, right? Once October starts and once January starts, right? That's 3 months. So let's just put it to the 1st of October and the 1st of January. They've multiplied their positions literally by 10. And their position value has multiplied by 10. They've 10x this in total holdings and in value. If you see it in the previous video, you'll see how much they actually own and how much it's valued. I found that interesting. This is still not updated, but I was so glad I came across this. You can see some other ones here that have their positions there, but very interesting to me that they went ahead and added 10 times the amount so far since September 30th. That's a big deal there. That's big stuff. And the stock price is already at the $8 mark. And back in September 30th, let's see where the stock price was. You can see that for sure. So September 30th, we were down here. They only owned about, at 176, 400,000 shares. Look how much they've been averaging up throughout the process. That's where I'm just like, yo, like, this is like a big deal. I can't believe I just said yo, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Who in their right mind averages up when you've been buying down here? I mean, like, if you bought, let's say, they bought, let's say, for example, 500,000 more shares, I like around this price, 292, and they see more room, they could hold 1 million shares. And if this is probably gonna 3x, 4x, 5x, or even 10x, they can just hold that same position, not risk any more money, right? And they would probably get the same amount of value, market value over time than where they're at right now. For them to continue to put more at stake is because they see more room in the market value, and that right there speaks in high volumes. Another thing too, very interesting, and it's a pretty much good theory to think, and we still need to see how this is going to continue to play out. But the fact that they buy larger amounts on the way up, they're showing how bold and confident they are, and on the way down, they're like, yeah, this looks like a discount, but the discount doesn't really exist. The discount is wherever you get in. That's literally the theory there. And I think that does make sense, because the only time I saw them hesitant was around the $7 mark for some reason. And then after that, they've been stating with their purchases that wherever you buy, there's an opportunity. Now, that doesn't mean that because we think this, or the theories may seem like that, and they keep averaging up, that Nano Dimensions is going to run up and that this is a great investment and that because Ark Invest is doing it that way, it means that that's the way. I want every single investor to be aware of that. But it is good to track Ark Invest behavior because it's not one investor, it's an institution, it's a group of investor and analysts making these decisions. So they won't make a decision that's going to be, obviously they take risk, they're bold, and they have a humongous portfolio, but their goal is to not fail at their investments. I don't think that's, nobody's going to invest just to invest into something because they don't see any more room. They have to be seeing some value here that's missing still beyond the chart, what it's showing. So I found that interesting. They 10x their holdings. They're already at 4 million, almost 4.8 million somewhere. No, not 4.8, excuse me. 4.5 million in total. And let's see here where the short position volume is. So for the 24th, their short volume was almost 1/4. And I wanted to talk about this for a second because their short volume has been increasing since the 16th. It was a little bit quieter around the middle of the month. And here we are seeing it increase and get larger and larger and larger. But this is the largest that it's been. And out of the total volume. So yes, this is larger in short volume than this, but the largest percentage ratio, because this is how much volume there was, and this is how much volume there was. This is a bigger portion of that volume compared to that 52 volume day, right? 52 million volume day. I find this interesting that the position of shorting has gotten larger, right? Over time, it was a little bit quieter down here, but it's not like the stock hasn't seen this type of volume of shorting. So let's go to the 11th. I want to see something here based off the 11th. You could see that on the 11th, what happened when the short volume was up in the 26%, right? Almost. It was 25.6. It went down, right? And then when we go to the 14th and the 15th, which was a little bit, less, it was 10% less in total. We have the 14th, and then we have the 15th, and then it started to slowly fall, leading into the 16th with other volatility and other issues going on with the stock. Now, on the 21st, let's see what was going on the 21st. The 21st, look how beautiful it was. It was probably one of the lowest short volumes, and look what happened on the 21st. It ran strong. So from the 21st forward, short volume got a little bit weaker, and then it's been incrementing, and then it fell back on the 23rd, and the 24th, it just took a hit. It's not about how much in volume here, right? Because these look like smaller days. It's here. So every time that this gets closer to 25% or anywhere above 20%, the stock takes a hit. It takes a hit. So right now, from obviously the 23rd, which the 23rd, it was weak. It wasn't too strong. The 23rd, it had room to run. And why is it going down in this direction? Because of this total amount of short volume as well. So I want investors to be aware of that. That's why that hit started on the 23rd. It led into the 24th. And the 24th, it dropped obviously below to newer lows. And it's just sitting down here from those peaks up here. So we need to watch this carefully, how the short volume continues. Because if it does have an influence. It has an influence, and it actually, it's not manipulation of the stock. It's just the way the stock is being perceived and how investors are going about it. But it is going to alter the direction of the stock. So that's why we need to watch resistance levels. We need to watch support levels and 50-day moving averages. And also the MACD. You want to have every single indicator that you can use to go ahead and pay attention to what's going on. So let's see here. Resistance is 963. That needs to be broken through. 50-day moving average is 935. It lets you know on what side of the chart we're on. we're in bearish territory at 902, but that's a great point to break through. But 963 definitely needs to be turned into a support and pulled away from, so this can reach newer highs. And the support is 866. It was touched twice the previous day and the next day, which was 23rd to the 24th. And we need to see if this could actually bounce back and be used as a support to build momentum, or this is going to break through support and hit newer lows. We need to watch this stock carefully and how it's reacting moving forward. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.